Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Selectmen's meeting of October 14th, 2014. We went into executive session. We've come out and we're going to continue. We'll do a roll call again anyways, please.
Four selectmen are here. Steve is out of town this evening. Town administrator is here, and town council is not present this evening.
Announcements. Mr. Titlebaum, do you have anything?
Yeah, just briefly. This past Thursday, I attended, along with the chairman, the Plymouth County Development Council's annual meeting. While we were there, a couple of interesting things happened. First, Charlie Baker, the Republican candidate for governor, showed up. He had just come from a meeting on the Cape to discuss transit issues with the Cape Cod Regional Transit Authority director. So while we were there, we took the opportunity to buttonhole him. I think cut him off might be a more appropriate word, and put in our own pitch for commuter rail here. He's already aware of commuter rail, so that it's good to get the ear of these people. You never know who's going to win, so at least we know one candidate knows who we are and what we're looking for. The second thing that came out of that meeting is that the head of the Plymouth Development organization, Paul Cripps, who's also worked with our CETA director and the Beach and Tourism Advisory Committee on promoting Wareham, informed us of a grant possibility. We're already looking to possibly do some matching funds with CETA. I think it's a 2-to-1 funding mechanism. So we're trying to meet that deadline, which is the middle of November, to try to get some of those monies to try to promote the town using CETA money, not anything out of the budget. So I think that's all I have.
Mrs. Whiteside.
Yes, thank you. Just want to remind everybody that on November 7th, there is a play in the library. It's a murder mystery with audience participation. It will be starring some very famous people and some infamous people. It will be a fundraiser for the library. Just want to remind you of that. Thanks.
Mr. Tropiano.
I'm all set this evening.
Let's see, Mr. Tropiano already gave me
You're on.
a large card with big letters because I'm a senior. Wareham Senior Luncheon, sponsored by Sheriff Joseph McDonald Jr., Sunday, October 19th, Wareham VFW, 4 Gibbs Ballpark Road, 12 noon. Delicious chicken lunch, free raffle, music by Lynn Roderick and Buddy Montero. Limited seating, RSVP required. To reserve your place, call Becky Lee, phone number 508-830-6226. Special guest will be State Representative Susan Williams-Gifford, Wareham Police Chief Kevin Walsh, and Wareham, actually it's not Wareham, it's Onset Fire Chief Ray Goodwin. That's a good mistake on that one. This will also be up at the Selectmen's office in case you don't hear it clearly enough. Just give a call in. That's nice on that one.
You have anything else?
Yes, Mr. White is going to have his usual Thursday soiree at the Redwood Community Center. Angela Denham, who is the president of the Wareham Historical Society, which is a nonprofit independent group from the town. Also, I believe she chairs the Wareham Historical Commission and chairs the Community Preservation Committee, which handles the CPA program. Okay, I keep forgetting. I'm not politically correct or teacher correct today. Make that a matinee. Just as an announcement, the town has posted some jobs for replacing people who are being retired and some changes. I just want to list, we have a Department Assistant 3, 19 hours a week listed. We have a Senior Program Manager, grade 7, 40 hours. And I think there was a maintenance technician. I assume that's probably if someone's retired. Water Pollution Control Facility. That's it.
Okay, next up, citizens' participation. Anyone here to speak to the board this evening?
There's somebody outside that wants to speak.
Hello? Come on in.
Citizen participation. If you want to speak.
Come on down.
Good evening, Sharon.
Hi, Sharon.
How are you today?
How are you?
Everyone. How are you? I'm good. My name is Sharon Gomes. I want to ask the question. 2 years ago, we were on board about getting solar panels at the sewer department. And I see everyone in town. I see New Bedford they have their housing, their school, all on board with the solar panels, and I hear that they're supposed to get the wind farm and all that. And just taking it a step further we spoke about this 2 years ago and nothing's happened. We went to the sewer plant and we got in there and seen that the land was being cleaned at the time for the solar panels. And I just want to know, where is that and why haven't we gotten that yet? I mean, I see that the medical building in Rose Point is doing fine. They have a solar farm. I mean, for the relief for the taxpayers, why aren't we going to that route? Because we also discussed that it would one day help us in the school department.
We can explain. Mr.
We
Sullivan.
can.
Yes, actually, we are using solar currently out of the Plymouth project, and what we have to do is we actually have to cover enough of the solar bills. If we go below that, you have to pay the electrical costs, and the sewer plant is part of that. They're seeing probably be a 12% decrease right now, but you can't basically go over the amount of allotments that you have, or you have to become a seller, or you have to just pay out the bills. So it's been locked up with that, and until that's rectified, which would mean we would have to sell power to another community, nothing can be done.
Okay, because I thought that's why we had the interview, why we had, I thought it was Sage come here and
We
say
did,
that.
we
That's the
bought from
Sage
Sage.
project.
Yeah,
We bought 6 megawatts.
And we're,
so it's better for us to be getting it from Plymouth than our own?
No, actually, if you could probably save more from your own, but they locked in with Sage Solar, so.
Why didn't we get locked in here? Because we were in town meetings and believing that we were getting locked in at the town meeting here at the sewer plant.
No, that was the
That was
Sage Solar
Sage.
project.
Sage Power is one that came before town meeting that we got approval to go ahead with. The one for the water pollution control facility has been on the books for a while, working it out, but we just can't do anything right now.
they're only allowed a maximum. And is it 6 megs? Is that what?
Well, you're allowed 10,
10
but,
Allowed
but
10.
if you only got, the problem, let me explain it really simple. What happened is, when we started this 2.5 years ago, we probably had closer to 7.5 to 8 megawatts use. So buying the 6 and then having some more for the plant would be fine. In the meantime, there's been more and more savings, electricity by LED lighting, et cetera. You know, basically the National Grid coming in and NSTAR coming up with different programs for lighting and everything to save. So we've gone from probably 8+ down to 6. So until either we sell off some of our credits, and then we can go put a plant in there. But right now, we would end up losing, it would cost the town money if we did anything else right now. Every time we turn around, someone has a good idea to save on electricity, but we're locked into a program that we're trying to work our way out of a little bit.
Have you been locked into that program for 2 years or more?
No, when they came online in June, it took them 1.5 years, almost 1 year, 3/4 to build the project. We signed up almost 2 years ago.
So what you're asking is, have we gone with the solar project that you wanted? And the question is, the answer to that is yes. However, as things go on, there's better opportunities that we're trying to go after too.
Okay, because I was understanding like it was gonna start at the sewer and then maybe go on to the schools and the town hall. I
All
think
of them.
many people were under that idea.
All of them are being covered right now.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Thanks.
Anybody else for citizens' participation? Come on, Jerry.
I know.
Geez, I haven't seen you in a while.
I know. There's only one question I want to ask. Bakery's had that Cranberry Festival,
Yes.
and they had 4 school buses they rented. What happens to that how much does the town get, and where does that money go?
Goes in the revolving.
The money, Jerry, is,
And I know, I'm quite sure they get quite a bit.
the school basically makes the arrangement from the transportation department. It goes into what the school has as a revolving fund for transportation, and that money goes to use to repair the buses, pay salaries for people running the buses, et cetera.
So will that mean we'll pay less money, taxpayers?
Hopefully, as far as the money for non-net spending in the school, they'll have more money to cover their expenses.
No, what I'm saying is because I don't know how much they get, but I know they get quite a bit because there's 4 buses, and I work there Saturday for free for the Masons Saturday.
Actually, I
And I
think-
seen those buses going all the time carrying the people. And Sunday it was over 20,000 people.
Yeah, I believe they had somewhere between 10 and 12 buses. Jerry.
Nobody's saying when they get that money, when Makepeace pays the town for those buses.
The best way to get that would be at Wednesday's school committee meeting.
I'd just like to know what,
Yeah, that's,
if we're getting less taxes or not.
yeah, the school committee would set the fees with them.
Who's the head of the school committee?
The best, if you go to Wednesday night school committee meeting, and if you want to go to their open meeting, that they,
What, you can't tell me? Because you're the town administrator?
No.
You're not over them? Come on now.
oh, I'm not over them, actually.
No, actually, we're not.
No.
Oh, pardon me.
No, he's not.
We're-
That's why they come in here and they tell you stuff, huh? Yeah, I'm dumb, right? Okay. I'll find out about it.
No.
All right. Anybody else? All right, appointments is next. I got Cheryl Baggett, how do you say that? Bagadia, come on up. How are you? Good. Cheryl wants to be appointed to the Community and Economic Development Authority. Just tell us a little bit about yourself, and
What would you like to know?
just why you want to be on the committee.
I've been running a business in Onset since 2009, so I run the Inn on Onset Bay. And my husband and I just, we lived in Plymouth, but we just bought a house in Wareham, so we live in East Wareham. And I've worked a little bit with Salpina through the business group that we established in Onset. So I'm just interested in getting more involved and just kind of finding out how CETA works and how the grants come and how they allocate the funds that they have.
Okay. Questions of the board?
But we have a mutual friend, Linda Burke. My
Yes.
understanding from Linda Burke was that you were possibly shifting your focus to the Beach and Tourism Advisory Committee.
Right, we had talked about that, and I was going to attend that meeting on Friday and kind of see how that goes, but I thought I would come here tonight and introduce myself and, you know, kind of whatever was the better fit for both CETA and the beach and tourism. But the beach and
Okay.
tourism might be a better fit because of,
Would you prefer then to hold off on an actual appointment until you have an opportunity to see how the second board works?
sure. Again, I apologize for, I don't know how any of this works. I was just told to come, got an email that said, come to this meeting.
Well, believe me,
And,
if you find out you like this, we probably have
Yeah.
lots of boards we can stick you on, but that's,
We can put you on both boards. without
Yeah.
Too many problems.
Yeah, probably the tourism and beach one. I mean, definitely, I feel like I have a unique perspective from dealing with the tourists all the time. and
Right.
Could share about kind of what they say about, you know, what they love about coming to Onset and Wareham and some of the challenges as well.
All right, so why don't we put that on hold and we'll appoint you after you decide which one for sure. Let them know in the office and
Okay.
we'll appoint you.
Okay,
Okay?
all right.
great, thank you.
Thank you so much.
The next is Michael Fitzgerald. Is he here?
Mike's not available.
All right, Mike, I move we appoint Michael Fitzgerald to 12 Widows Cove Lane of Wareham to the Community and Economic Development Authority to a term to expire no later than June 30th, 2017.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Tropiano, second by Mr. Titlebaum. Any questions? None heard, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, 400.
All right, next up is Kat Jones. I like that name. She's not here. I move we appoint Kat Jones of 18 Woburn Ave, Onset, Massachusetts, to the Community and Economic Development Authority for a term to expire no later than June 30th, 2015.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Tropiano, second by Mr. Titlebaum. Any questions?
I just want to make a note. These applicants that we're appointing tonight, as well as Mrs. Begagan, all were recommended to serve on the CETA board by the CETA board itself. They attended meetings, they got to take the measure of these folks, and they accordingly made recommendations to us to appoint. So if you don't see a couple of the applicants here tonight, don't read anything into that.
Right. Okay. All set?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? There was a fourth one, too. I thought
I
we
don't
got
have a
paperwork.
fourth one.
Yeah, we don't have it
Only
here,
have
but I
three,
thought-
yeah.
wasn't there one more?
Yes,
Who's the last one?
hang on.
We have-
Oh, the fourth one was the one who came into the office last week. I think they're holding off on putting the application
Yeah,
forward
it's
until
not
that
here.
person has an opportunity to see, so.
Right.
That's, I don't have it.
Actually, I don't think, we've got one member that may or may not have resigned yet, so they have 4 in place. So we have 2 appointed as 6.
So there's one more appointment to be made and possibly one coming down the road. It's a 7-man board.
Right, so all I'm saying is if we had appointed 3 tonight, we would be technically full as of right now. So, just so you know.
Yeah.
So we actually have possible of 8 candidates for 7 positions.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, next up
Thanks.
is change of hours for Assinippie Liquors on Barker Road. Is anybody here to represent them? No?
This is a standard,
Yeah.
again, with the state doing the Sunday 10 a.m. change.
All right, so, let's see, the premises, blah, 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 just trying to see what the hours change is, that's all. Okay, so their hours are gonna be, I move we approve the change of hours for Assinippie Liquors, Inc., DBA Assinippie Liquors, 3 Barker Road, I don't know what it says, East Wareham, Mass. Manager Raymond Vizina. And the hours are gonna be Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Sunday, 10 a.m. to 11 p.m.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Tropiano, second by Mr. Titlebaum. Any questions? None heard, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? 400.
All right, next, we move on. Next will be the Veterans Day Proclamation. I am going to...
Sharon,
Come on.
come on up.
Yep.
I hope you're bringing the Grand
Peter.
Marshal with you.
Yes,
Peter,
I
you're gonna
have.
speed read this.
Hmm?
You're gonna speed read that
Don't speak, read it.
when the time comes.
Good evening.
Good evening. The clerk has asked me to read the Veterans Day Proclamation for the Board of Selectmen.
Why
Town
don't-
of Wareham.
Why don't we just let Sharon explain what's going on first?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
You're on.
Hi, my name's Sharon Boyer. I'm one of the co-chairs for the Veterans Day for the past few years. Tonight, in addition to reading the proclamation, I brought here with me our new Grand Marshal.
Oh,
And he will, our new Grand Marshal happened to be chosen among a committee, more so than just Bob and I. We now have a committee for the Veterans Day's event, so there's 6 of us involved, so it's not just myself and Bob. And Steve was chosen to be the Grand Marshal this year.
for those who don't know, could you mention his full name?
Oh, yes, Steve Baptiste.
There you go.
Stephen M. Baptiste.
Stephen M.
Yes.
Mr. Baptiste, would you like to say anything? Would you like to say anything?
I've been around for 75 years. Other than my 3 years in the military, I was a paratrooper. I've done everything in my lifetime here in Wareham. I had a barbering business. I was on the police department for 19 years. I had a construction business. I've owned and operated a restaurant for 35 years down in Onset. I've climbed a lot of stairs in my lifetime, and I'm sure that these stairs that I have to climb on Veterans Day will be climbed. Thank you.
Thank you. We
Good job,
appreciate everything
Steve.
you actually do
Thank
for all
you.
these years, by the way. We appreciate everything you've done during all these years, just so you know.
I've got big shoes to fill, though. You know, Jimmy Bruce is...
I know. You'll do
Yeah,
fine,
but-
you'll do more than fine.
best.
You'll do more than fine. Peter, go ahead, please.
Okay, this is the Selectmen's Veterans Day Proclamation. Whereas the 11th of November 1918 marked the end of the war to end all wars and the cessation of the most destructive, sanguinary, and far-reaching war in human annals, and the resumption by the people of the United States of peaceful relations with other nations, which we hope may never again be severed. And whereas veterans from Wareham have served our country with distinction of honor and valor, and whereas it is fitting that the recurring anniversary of this date should be commemorated with thanksgiving and prayer and exercises designed to perpetuate peace through goodwill and mutual understanding between nations. And whereas veterans from Wareham are among those distinguished by their unyielding dedication, devotion to duty, and potentially the ultimate sacrifice, their lives. And whereas since 1954, when Armistice Day was designated henceforth to be known as Veterans Day to honor all who had served in all wars to preserve world peace, and whereas President Dwight D. Eisenhower issued the first Veterans Day proclamation on June 1st, 1954, and whereas to protect the nation they love, our veterans stepped forward when America needed them most. In conflicts around the world, their sacrifice and resolve helped destroy the enemies of freedom and saved millions from oppression. In answering history's call with honor, decency, and resolve, our veterans have shown the power of liberty and earned the respect and admiration of a grateful nation. And whereas all of America's veterans have placed our nation's security before their own lives, creating a debt that we can never fully repay. Our veterans represent the best of America, and they deserve the best America can give them. Therefore, we, the Wareham Board of Selectmen, do hereby proclaim November 11th, 2014 as Veterans Day in Wareham and urge all citizens of Wareham to recognize the valor and sacrifice of our veterans through ceremonies and prayer. In witness whereof, we have hereunto set our hands this 14th day of October 2014. Alan H. Slavin, Chairman, Patrick G. Tropiano, Clerk, Stephen M. Holmes, Peter W. Teitelbaum, Judith Whiteside.
Thank you.
I would just like to say thank you for your service, sir. I appreciate it.
Just likewise, thank you. And I'd also like to thank the other folks who have stepped up to help you and Bob.
Yes.
It must be a little bit of a relief. I know Bob has been begging for help for a couple of years now, so it's nice that it's finally come through. I guess the cavalry has arrived.
Yes, that's true.
Thank you.
Also, I wanted to know if, in the past, we have asked the selectmen to serve the luncheon. I'm hoping that you'll please take that invitation, and we hope
that's
to see you
awesome.
there.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
This is probably going to be the first time in quite a while I haven't done it. I unfortunately will be out of town, away. They didn't plan it that way, but it worked. I'm very disappointed I won't be there. It's always fun to serve as well.
I like to serve the food.
I know you'd also like to
I like
eat
to
it.
eat it as well. In case you haven't
Absolutely.
noticed.
After we serve all
How
our
much is going to get to the
veterans,
veterans,
more than
Patrick?
No. Patrick uses the two-handed method. one
I
for me,
use,
one for
yeah,
you. If anything comes up, please come up, let us know.
Yes, we're still looking for volunteers for certain aspects of the parade, luncheon, and the ceremony. If you're available for that day, please contact us by reaching us at 508-274-4963. That is Mr. White's number. All our contacts are going through him. And we also have a parade application this year. We would like to have anyone who's interested in participating in the parade to please fill out an application, because for this year, we happen to have Scott Record, and he will be narrating the parade. So we're asking that you must fill out an application so that we have you on the listing. If there's anything else?
No. Thank you very much. And Bob, why don't you come out from behind there?
He's bashful.
You're not that bashful.
He's got his shorts on, probably.
I think he's sticking you with it this time, Sharon.
I believe so. He keeps saying he wants me out in front.
Well, there is a man behind the curtain, just so everybody knows.
There is. Is he coming out?
No, he's not moving.
No, he's
No,
not?
he's not coming out.
All right, he doesn't have to. Tomorrow morning, Steve will be on Good Morning Wareham, with Jim Bruce. He's passing the sash over to Steve Baptiste tomorrow morning. So that will be on live TV tomorrow.
All right.
Hope to see everyone there at the Veterans Parade, luncheon or ceremony. And if you have anyone who's interested in volunteering or helping us out, be more than happy to have you come along with us.
We're going to meet on November on the 3rd rather than the 4th on the Tuesday, that's election day. So
Oh.
if something else you need to come up and announce, just so you
Okay.
know.
All
that would be
right,
the-
great.
The 11th, I don't think
We're
not
not planning.
meeting
The
the
11th
11th.
is the actual event.
well, not only that, it's also town hall's closed and everything, so we will not be meeting that day. But
All right,
just so you
great.
know, you have a meeting on the 3rd if you need it.
Great, thank you so much.
Thank you for taking
Thank
this
you.
on, Steve. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it very much.
All right, next, minutes. I have the minutes of the regular Selectmen Sewers Commissioners meeting from September the 9th, 2014, and I move that we approve them as they are.
Second.
We got some more stuff here.
Well, he just,
Oh, well, you know what, they're not in the packet. Okay.
There is nothing in the back.
All right, let's do that while we've got it on, motions on the floor.
Go ahead.
and a
sir.
second,
It's already on there. It's got a second.
and a second.
We're gonna call for a vote.
I'm just having fun. Motion by Mr. Tropiano, second by Mrs. Whiteside. Any questions?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
I'm gonna do this last one because it's the
Opposed?
last thing in the pack, and then we'll go on to that other stuff.
Vote
Okay,
was 4-0.
I also move that we approve the Selectmen Sewer Commissioners meeting from September the 30th, 2014, with one change. If you go to the last page, you'll see there was, it says September 23rd, Selectman Tropiano motion to approve and hold the minutes, meeting minutes of September the 23rd, 2014, and there's no second there, so I'm gonna put we're writing in Selectman Whiteside seconded.
Second your motion for approval with corrections.
Motion with the modified. Any other questions? Motion by Mr. Tropiano with the modification, second by Mrs. Whiteside. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, 400.
Okay, next up, we're gonna go to discussion long-term town-wide trash plan. Boy, you
we-
really are brave.
Yes, I am. It's nothing like causing trouble in life.
So there's
I'm
a,
always good at that.
so there's a long-term plan to trash the town, is that what I'm
Yeah,
taking out of this?
Long-term plan to trash the town, yeah, nice.
We've had a lot of discussions about trash, simple as that, litter, et cetera. I've asked for people to step up to take areas and form their own groups for litter. I've had a whole 3 people step up out of 22,000 in the town. It's pretty sad. So we've had other discussions about trash in general. I've talked to the Onset Bay Association at one point. I've talked to the Wareham Village Association also. And I've talked to the town administrator. I don't know how financially, but somebody outside noisy. I think that we would like to look at some kind of long-term plan. Obviously, nothing's going to be done quick and easy, but I think if we spend some time looking at who we use ourselves for hauling trash for the town, who has, contracts in town as well, maybe there's some way to come up with a dumpster program where we can put dumpsters in key locations to take care of some of these issues downtown in the areas. I know we've adopted a, carry in, carry out, no trash, but it's pretty disgusting everywhere we go. Streets, et cetera. So I think it's worth our time at least to investigate the possibility of coming up with some program. I don't know how to make it work yet. I really don't have enough details except to say I'd like to look at it as a board and work with the town administrator, talk with, basically the trash haulers. I know there's other places that have things where we have CMAS. We have contract with CMAS. We have certain things that are available to us. We might be missing the boat there as well. So I want to start this, because this is something we need to get done. Wareham deserves to be a place to come and not have to look at, excuse my language, crap everywhere. Any other questions? Mrs. Whiteside?
Yeah. No.
It's okay.
Picking up after other people is not the job of the town. People need to learn individual responsibility. I follow cars on a daily basis where the cigarette butt is thrown out of the car. You want to smoke it? Put it out in your car. Keep the germs in there. I am not in favor of picking up after other people if they are capable of picking up after themselves. Dumping mattresses, furniture, Dunkin' Donuts cups, and all that other stuff, no. We need to learn how to be a responsible society, and I think it's great, but no. And I just came from 3 major cities, and there was not one piece of trash on the road.
Places to put it, like there's no more place in Onset.
Please, you can't, it's not public right now, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
It's okay, thank you.
It's good, though.
Yes, it is fine. Have to stay with protocol.
Well, the fact is that there was a suggestion that one of the groups that you mentioned would actually be taking care of the trash barrels in a certain portion of the town. That did not come to fruition. If people, individual business owners want to take care of the trash that they generate, that's great. For all of the styrofoam cups, charge 10 cents extra or something. You can't change society by holding everybody's hands, and that's what you're suggesting.
Mr. Titlebaum.
I don't think I have anything to say after following that.
Mr. Tropiano.
In some ways, I agree with Judy because, look, I'm really careful about not throwing stuff on the ground. Even, I open something up, I get a paper, I put it in my pocket. And then when I go home at night, I kind of reach in my pocket and I throw the stuff away. You know, I'm really nuts about not throwing stuff out my window, which I see every day. I see a car in front of me and they just whip this coffee cup right out the window. There it goes. You see them in the parking lots, and they take all this stuff out and they put it on the ground next to the car. Have we seen that? You know, they just put it out there. Well, you know, this is irresponsible behavior that's really not necessary. I mean, how hard is it to put it in the car, take it home, take it out of the car in a little trash bag, and put it in your trash? It's really not that difficult. But we have some people who ruin it for everybody, of course, like everything else in the world. We're always trying to fight the people that won't be responsible. Instead of forcing them to be responsible, we try to make provisions for their irresponsibility. And I think Judy's right. I mean, if we don't start making them step up to the plate, who's going to do it? When is this going to stop? When is this stuff going to happen? You know, the one thing that irritates the heck out of me is when somebody takes a cigarette and they flick it out the window. How many people have seen that happen? 1,000,000 times, right? It's fire. You just threw fire out the window of your car. I don't get it. And, you know, I see it on the road up along my place. What's the name of that road that goes along the cemetery, the Agawam Cemetery there? Stillman. You're going up Stillman. And I see this person in front of me, and they flick a lit cigarette out. Guess where it goes? Right in the forest. It's lucky the thing doesn't catch on fire. We don't have the whole minded forest burned to the ground. I mean, this is, we have got to someday take responsibility for ourselves here. We do. I totally agree with Judy, and I think, you know, not that I don't like the idea of trying to come up with some solution for some areas, but look, if it's there, if we put a dumpster out there tomorrow, we would find it full. We would find, you know, furniture in it. We'd find mattresses in it. And not only would we find them in it, we'd find them all around it because they're too lazy to pick it up and put it in. So we have to be careful here. This is a slippery slope, and we have to be careful. If we're going to force people to do whatever, one, we have to tell our police department and get them on board to start fining these people when they see them and they catch them. No more of this, well, just let them go down the street. Tag them. Give them the price. What is it, $200 and something, $250? What is it nowadays? $250?
Up to 500.
We could use the $250. Deal them, $250. We can pick it up for $250, can't we? I can pick a cigarette up for $250.
What's interesting is that many of the local owners of real estate have had the, you know, the boxes for whatever it is, removed from those parking lots. For instance, this, what I call the CVS parking lot, the Dunkin' Donuts, that one over there, I don't know what the address is. The collection box has been removed. And that collection box was always overflowing with things that were not allowed in the collection box. The box is gone. Somebody didn't want to play the game right, so they left, you know, a bag of trash or clothes or whatever there. It's the responsibility of the property owner to keep it clean, period.
She's really tough. I'm all set.
We all set?
I think so.
Okay, well,
That went over well.
I don't care if it goes over well or not. It's just, it's an issue in town. We've sat there, we've talked to the police about it. It's very difficult for them unless they see someone physically doing it. We're not solving the problem. There are plenty of towns around that have trash pickup townwide. The people basically pay the tax for it and it gets done. Again, we have CMAS. I'm gonna, even if it's my own time, I'll spend time looking to see if I can find something that might work long-term.
You know, I got even a different idea. How about if we put up, how about if we, instead of spending the money to put dumpsters and stuff up, how if we buy some cameras and we put them in some locations where we can catch these people throwing this stuff around? I mean, it's always the same places.
You actually had a town employee have that suggestion made publicly today, because there are certain places where
Yeah, it's the same
people.
places.
Yeah, it's the same places every day.
Let's put up
So-
some cameras, get some license plates, get some people, you know, instead of spending the money to put up a dumpster.
Okay, you can buy your cameras.
Okay.
And we used to have townwide trash, and we got rid of it, and it cost us we saved $500,000. There are ways of engaging the haulers who are licensed. You know, you want a license to haul trash here? How about adding Onset Beach to your route for free or something. I don't know. I don't know how to do it, but there are certainly ways of encouraging private businesses to help cure the problem. This public business, the town, needs to grow up and take responsibility for itself.
It's what we're talking about, basically, is looking at different options.
Okay.
So we'll continue on this.
Yeah, we should. All right, next up, any other sewer business not reasonably anticipated the last 48 hours?
No.
No one. Any other town business not reasonably anticipated in the last? Nobody.
I got one.
You do? Okay, go ahead.
We got from a group, Pancreatic Cancer Awareness Month. We just got it in our mail. They're asking us to make November Pancreatic Cancer Awareness Month for the town of Wareham. I'll just read their proclamation they asked us, and if the board is willing to go ahead and do that. During the month of November, Pancreatic Cancer Awareness Month in the town of Wareham, Massachusetts, whereas in 2014, an estimated 46,420 people will be diagnosed with pancreatic cancer in the United States, and 39,590 will die from the disease. Not a good percentage. Where pancreatic cancer is one of the deadliest cancers, is currently the 4th leading cause of cancer death in the United States, and is projected to become the 2nd by 2020. Whereas pancreatic cancer is the only major cancer with a 5-year relative survival rate in the single digits at just 6%. Whereas when symptoms of pancreatic cancer present themselves, it is generally late stage, which means probably stage 3 or stage 4. And 73% of pancreatic cancer patients die within the first year of their diagnosis, while 94% of pancreatic cancer patients die within the first 5 years. Whereas approximately 920 deaths will occur in Massachusetts in 2014. Whereas the Recalcitrant Cancer Research Act was signed into law in 2013, which calls on the National Cancer Institute to develop a scientific framework or strategic plans for pancreatic cancer or other deadly cancers, which will help provide the strategic direction and guidance needed to make true progress against these diseases. And whereas it will be very difficult to leverage the opportunities that come out of the scientific framework developed as a result of the Recalcitrant Cancer Research Act, unless sustained and adequate funding is provided to the National Institutes of Health and National Cancer Institute. And whereas federal funding for medical research is critical to job protection and creation in Massachusetts, and whereas the Pancreatic Cancer Action Network is a national organization serving pancreatic cancer community in Wareham and nationwide through a comprehensive approach that includes public policy, research funding, patient services, and public awareness and education related to the developing effective treatments and a cure for pancreatic cancer. Whereas the Pancreatic Cancer Action Network and its affiliates in Wareham support those patients currently battling pancreatic cancer, and as well as to those who have lost their lives to the disease and are committed to nothing less than a cure. Whereas the good health and well-being of the residents of Wareham are enhanced as a direct result of increased awareness about pancreatic cancer and research into early detection, causes, and effective treatments there be it. Resolved, the Board of Selectmen designate the month of November 2014 as Pancreatic Cancer Awareness Month in the town of Wareham, Massachusetts.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Tropiano, second by Mrs. Whiteside. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, 4-0-0.
Okay, town administrator's report, please.
Thank you. As you know, we've been focusing on the upcoming town meeting. As part of that, Thursday, October 16th at 6:30 p.m. in this room, so room 320 of the Multi-Service Center, we'll have what's essentially the Finance Committee and pre-town meeting sponsored by the Madam Moderator and, again, the Finance Committee. And that's where most of our interests have been going. So, thank you.
Okay, that's it. All right, next liaison reports.
Mr. Titlebaum.
Further in that regard,
Sally.
okay, you guys done?
Yes, we're all done, Sally.
Slap them, Judy. On Wednesday evening, I discussed in front of the FinCom, since we have some articles with the selectmen, with the proponents and ones who drafted the articles, went before the FinCom, explained the articles to them to receive their favorable action votes. All the articles did receive a majority favorable action vote. I will again attend the Thursday pre-town meeting / Finance Committee hearing process and do the same thing all over again. I expect to engage in some spirited debate once again.
Yeah. Mrs. Whiteside?
Yes, Mr. Titlebaum, you're up to spirited debate. I just want to, I know that Mr. Tropiano made a comment last week about the Oakdale playground cleanup, which was, I guess, a major success. I want to thank him again for taking over that role. I'd also like to point out that the Oakdale residents took back their playground. They put this entire package together. There were more than 100 people present. They had a porta potty. They're going to continue this Sunday with, little bits of pickup and stuff. However, I went and looked at the playground today, and I got to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, you did a really, really nice job.
Yes, they did.
And that's what I'm looking for. That's what I encourage. You see something, pick up the phone, go knock on your neighbor's door, take back your neighborhood. And I just want to say, again, congratulations to you.
Well, we had a sewer meeting tonight, so my stuff's already been done, so yours turn, Mr.
No trash, huh?
No trash, no stuff to talk about.
No stuff. We have tomorrow at Bessie Park at 3:30, there's going to be an announcement.
There's going to be nothing. They're controlling that to a press release. Don't announce it.
Oh, it's not far? Sorry about that. Forget that.
Never mind.
Nothing happening, move on. Nothing to see
We're
here.
just going to discuss what it was, not who or anything else.
No, never
That's
mind.
fine.
Nope, can't even do that. No, mum's the word.
I guess they don't like us.
Yeah,
We
maybe they
did
don't
get
like you.
notification from Commonwealth of Mass Department of Telecommunications and Cable. We have a committee in town that basically is negotiating for the Verizon and also for Comcast. Comcast is up in March, and I believe Verizon is up 2 years later. We've got a date of when they have to have these contracts done by Comcast, I believe by the end of March of 2015. So we were just notified that we need to have some report by this particular committee, which I spoke to Matt Underhill about trying to get done, advising the state where we are with the, with the licensing agreement, how it's going. Because basically what happens is, if there's not a licensing agreement in place on basically April 1st, there is no Comcast. So we kind of, I put a little bug under the committee to get going because they've had quite a bit of time.
Verizon would like that.
Well,
Verizon would like that, but I don't think my residents would like that.
No, probably not.
I did the negotiations the last time.
I know you did, but they have a committee and they're a little behind. That's all I've got. Actually, I'm sorry, I also did attend a MMA breakfast on Friday morning past week. We had discussions, again, on my usual complaints about unfunded mandates, partially funded mandates, lack of revenue for, for the different programs, Chapter 90, Chapter 70. There actually was discussions. There was 2 state senators and 3 representatives. They did actually talk about Chapter 70, Chapter 90, some of the issues. But as a group, except for one, which is our representative, they don't think there's any unfunded mandates because of all the money the state gives us. So we're at pretty well major odds about how things work in the state. So it's pretty discouraging when they tell me there's no unfunded mandates.
Yeah, right. Anybody else? No. Motion to adjourn.
Motion by Mr. Tropiano, second by Mr. Titlebaum. All those in favor?
Aye.
Good night, Wareham. Thank you.